All right, today we are going to make a small fox tapestry. All right. In this one, I'm going to demonstrate how to do a foundation single crochet so that we can start this one out that way instead of doing the chain 11 and then come back. Okay, so we're going to actually do row 1 when we do this. All right. So you start with a loop on your hook. You're going to chain 2. Okay. That's how this starts. You're going to go back into the very first chain. You're going to pull up a loop. Okay, we're going to consider this as the bottom part of the stitch. You're going to pull up one more loop. That is the side part of the stitch. If you notice, we kind of have a square here. Okay, can you see that? Kind of a square. Kind of a square here. All right, and then you're going to yarn over and go through 2. That finishes off your stitch. So you have 1 single crochet. All right, now the next part, if you look at your little square here, we've got our top, our bottom, our side, and our side. Down here, we have kind of like a chain, okay? So we're gonna go under that chain. So you should be going under two little loops, okay? I'm gonna yarn over and pull under that one. That makes our chain for the bottom of our single crochet. Then we yarn over and pull through 1. That makes the side of our single crochet. And I'm going to finish it off by pulling through 2. So now we have 2 single crochets on our hook. All right, so we've got the first chain, the second chain. We're going to go through that chain, yarn over, pull up a loop. That's the chain for the next single crochet. That's the side, and that finishes it off. So each chain has like 3 loops that you're pulling up basically. So you go through the chain of the first one, bring up your chain, and then the side, and then you finish it off. There you see we've got these pretty little single crochets. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 10 of them. Okay, so just keep going. 1, 2, 3. That makes 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9. And I want you to notice how it's starting to curve. That's okay, it'll straighten back out, but if you want it to be more straight, when you go for your first chain, let it pull out a little bit more. Okay, you see how that loop's a little bit bigger than this one? And that'll help you even it out. Forgot what number we're on now. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we just finished. All right, there's 10. All right, and like I said, you can straighten it out if it starts to curve. That's not a big deal. All right, this is row 1. Your 2 colors for, oh boy, we got a lot of color changes on row 2. So get ready, folks. This is a toughie one. I would call this one a 3-star difficulty level. 1 being easy, 3 being hard. This is a 3. It's not super hard, but we do have a lot of color changes and a lot of adding yarns at the same time. So be prepared. Row 2 is a doozy, okay? Because if you notice on our instructions, we also have to carry the black yarn 2 stitches when we get done with it. Because we have the black yarn on row 2 and we don't have it again until row 5. We could just do the 2 stitches and cut the yarn off, but I think that's wasting time. So we're going to keep the yarn. I'm going to carry it through row 3 and 4 for the black yarn. Pick it back up on row 5. The instructions are on there how to carry the yarn so that we can get there. And then we'll just keep going from there. All right, so we're going to turn our fabric and we're going to do 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, now we are changing to white. It's always tough when you start out a color change and it's only 1 stitch. All right, we are on the wrong side of the fabric, so we want our tail to lay on this side. And we're going to pull that through. Tighten our blue loop just a little bit and hold that over. We're going to single crochet over both of these yarns to make sure that it is secured. Now, we only have 1 white. Then we have to add in the black. We're going to have tails everywhere, folks. It's going to be nuts. But I believe in you. We can do it. All right, so here's our black yarn. Again, holding it to the wrong side of the fabric, which is the side that's facing us right now. Pull it through. So now we have all these tails to crochet over. We are going to do this for 2. Make sure your white working tail, all the tails need to be on this side. We don't need to have any tails on this side, all the tails on this side. We've got 4 we're crocheting over, which is insane. but it's doable. 1, 2. Now I'm going to switch to white because that's my next one. So get all these tails down here, and I'm going to go ahead and switch my black for white and finish that off. But then I'm going to hold on because I need to figure out what we want to carry and what we don't, because we got a lot of tails here. All right, the 2 tails we were just securing, the non-working tails, I'm going to pull those and push them back, okay? We don't have to worry about carrying those anymore. We'll finish those at the end of the thing. We do need to carry the blue because we have blue stitches at the end, and it says to carry the black for 2 additional stitches. So we're going to go 1. Oh, look, we got to change colors again. All right. So I'm going to pull the white out of the way, and I'm going to switch to my blue. Now, I don't need to carry the white anymore here, so I'm pulling it to the side. So now I'm just crocheting over the black, and I want to do that for 1 stitch. All right, so 1, we can pull that black out of the way, and then finish off with the blue. Like I said, that was a doozy, but we did it. Okay, so we have our black sticking out here, our white sticking out here, and then our tails, and we're just going to let them be. We're not going to mess with them anymore. We just want to worry about these 2, okay? We're going to turn our fabric. All right, so we're here. Now notice it says pick up the black yarn on stitch 2 and carry it 1 stitch. So we're going to go 1. Okay, and here we're going to pick up the black, because what we're doing is we don't want to show it. We just want to carry it up 1 row, okay? And then we're going to switch to the white. Got a lot of tails going on here. It's kind of nuts. All right, there's our white. We're going to continue carrying our blue for 1 stitch. We're not carrying that black anymore. We just needed to carry it for 1. And now we get to change to orange. Oh my goodness, another color change. This is insane. All right. So this is the right side of the fabric. So we want to put our tail on the wrong side this time when we do this, okay? And we're going to do this for 4. So we want to crochet over the blue and the white tails since we have more of those colors coming up in this row, okay? So we're going to go in the fabric and under those 3. So we have our orange tail that we want to crochet to secure, and then the 2 working tails for the white and the blue. And we're going to crochet over those for 4 stitches. And notice you can't see them. Isn't that amazing? Because we're holding to the back of the fabric. 4. All right, now we are switching to white. Okay, now we do need to carry the orange yarn to the end, because if you notice, row 4 is all orange. So we are going to switch to our white. Now you want to try not to get your yarns tangled, so try to pay attention to where you're pulling them from. Okay, we do 1 white, and then we are switching to blue. Blue is here, so we're going to try to get him uncovered. All right, but we need to carry that orange with us, but we're going to leave the white hanging out. Okay, so 1, carry the orange for 2 stitches, and that is the end of that row. Whew, that was a lot, but we're getting a little fox coming together. Okay, so try switch him over. Row 10 is just orange. Okay, now notice we stopped with our white at row 3, and we're not picking it up again until row 9. So because that's so many rows, I don't want to have this white in the way. So I am going to cut it, and then I will add it back in when we come back around. Cut that. We can pull the white out of all of our tangle of yarn. Okay? Make it easier, not harder on yourself. If you're skipping a bunch of rows with a color, cut it off. If you're not, like we're going to be picking up the black here in just a second, then just carry it, okay? All right, so here we are. Oh, I forgot to change colors. So we need to change from our blue to our orange because the next row is all orange, okay? So we've changed colors, we've cut off our white, and now we're ready to go. But we also notice we don't have the blue again until row 9. So we're going to cut off the blue as well, just so that we don't have a whole bunch of yarn we have to deal with. Makes it easier, and we'll pick that back up on row 9. So cut the blue, give yourself a decently long tail. All right, so now we just have red and black or orange and black that we're working with, okay? So we're going to turn. Now I do want to secure the white tail and the blue tail a little bit on this row to make sure that so I'm going to crochet over them to secure them. So we cut off our blue and our white. I'm going to pick up the blue and carry it for a while, and carry the white for a while just to crochet over them, just to secure them a little bit. You don't have to do this. You can just weave them in. I just really hate weaving. I hate weaving them in. All right, so I'm going to carry this one till I get to the white, and then I'm going to add it into, and I'll crochet over both of them for a little while. One, and notice it says to pick up the black yarn on stitch 8. So I'm just going to crochet over these a few times, and then I'll drop them out. We'll forget about those. 6, let's see. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, we're going to pick up our black yarn on stitch 8. So just crochet under it. All right, and then we're going to leave it hanging for the last 2 stitches, okay? All right, so we got lots of little guys hanging out. You can weave them in now and then snip them off if they get in your way. Otherwise, just leave them be. Forget they're there, okay? All right, now on row 5, we're going to put in the fox's eyes. So we've got 2 single crochets, and then we're going to switch to black. And look, we've been carrying the black up, and so it's just right there for us to pick up. Boom. Okay, we're going to do 1, and then we're going to switch and do 4, carrying our black with us so that we can get the other eyeball in there. We are on the right side of the fabric, so I'm carrying it on the back side. That's for 4, and then we switch. And see, now notice I could have just totally got myself in a mess, but instead I'm going to do it this way so that my yarn's not tangled. Okay, pay attention to where your yarn is. All right, we do 1, and then we switch back, and we finish it out with 2. Now, we are done with the black. I'm going to crochet over that end once, just to help secure it. Okay, all right, and now we can cut off that black. I'm going to leave a decent tail so that we can weave it the opposite direction when we get done. Now we're done with the black. Okay, so now we have 3 rows of just orange, which is fabulous. There's 1. My yarn keeps getting hung on me. We're on the right side for row 7. Okay. The wrong side for row 8, and row 9 the action picks back up again. Ah. All right, so we are back on row 9 now, and we're going to start adding some of those yarns back in. All right, we're going to do 1. And then we're going to add our white back in, just like we did the first time. Now we are on the right side of the fabric, so we're going to hold that scrap tail, or that tail, on the back side, okay? We're going to crochet over it for 1 stitch, pick our orange back up, which is here. Okay. We're going to do 1 orange stitch. And again, I'm still crocheting over that tail. Then we're going to switch to blue, so we have to add the blue back in. All right, again, holding the tail to the back. Okay, boom. Tighten our little red loop down there. He got kind of loose. Ooh, he's pulling away. All right, and we do 1. And look, I'm crocheting over all of these ends. 2, but it doesn't show on the front, even though I'm crocheting over all of these things. They don't show through on the front. 3, 4. All right, then I'm gonna do 1 orange. I'm gonna take these blue and white tails and just pull them to the back, because I don't have to worry about crocheting over those anymore. Okay. All right. We're gonna do 1 orange, and then switch to white. 1 orange. I'm not going to crochet over the blue. I don't need it right now. White, switch to orange, and I'm not going to crochet over the white here either. So we're done with the white now. Okay, I'm going to crochet over him again on the back side just to secure him, or I might just weave him in later. All right, so we got 3, 4, 3, and we only have 2 colors of yarn left, orange and blue. So we're going to do 1. I'm going to secure this white tail that we just snipped off. You don't have to, you can just weave it, but I like to. 3. Okay, and I'm going to switch to blue. Pull them through this mess. Make sure you're not getting them tangled up. And I'm going to crochet over my orange. 4. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to switch back to the orange. Now we switched to orange. Now notice it says to carry the blue till the end. So we're just going to go 1, 2, 3. And we're going to switch to blue because blue starts our next row. Okay. And then I'm crocheting over the orange just for this first stitch since we're going to be changing soon. All right, you can do that. You don't have to because it wouldn't make that much of a difference. All right, let me switch to orange. Let me switch back to blue. Okay, we're going to do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to switch back to orange. Where did he go? He came this way. Notice how I'm trying to untangle my yarn here. All right, do 1. Switch to blue. All right, our orange is done. I'm going to crochet over him on the next row just to make sure he's secured because the last row is just blue. So I can go ahead and snip the orange. I'm still going to crochet over him though. That way I've not got that thing dragging me down. All right, so I'm going to go 1. I'm going to pick up the orange and carry it for just a few stitches. 2, 3, holding it again to the back of the fabric. 4. I'll just stop carrying it there and finish out the tapestry. Okay. And 10. All right, that's my last stitch. I'm just going to go ahead and yarn over and pull through, cut that, and pull it the rest of the way through. Okay. All right, so there's our little fox. All right, now on the back side, it looks like a hot mess, but we can tidy that up. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to worry about these tails right now, but all of these tails, I'm going to go back through and I'll show you. I'll do 1 and then I'll skip it and then I'll show you what I do at the very end. Okay, I won't make you watch me weave all of these back in. All right, got my needle. All right, so I crocheted over it with the yarn going this direction. So I'm going to skip a little loop and go back in. I'm going to show you that again. Okay, I crocheted over it going this direction. So I'm going to skip this little loop. I'm going to go under the next one and I'm going to weave it back the opposite direction. That makes it the most secure. Okay, and then I'm going to snip that little guy off and he is done. All right, I'm going to do that with the rest of these and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I've weaved all of these in the opposite direction that I crocheted over them. And then the satisfying part. I'll let you watch this part because it's so satisfying. You just snip them off. Okay, just like so. And this is what your tapestry will look like on the back. It's a little wonky, but it looks very similar to the front. And then here's our little fox. He's so cute. All right, and if you need to stretch some of the things, sometimes you'll notice that some of your yarn is not exactly the same weight as the previous, some of the other colors you're using. My black especially is a lot thinner than the other yarns, and so sometimes you got to kind of stretch it a little bit. But there it is, your lovely little fox.